Hello everybody on the Prima page. I've just come on a little bit early tonight because I am, sorry my dog's just distracted me. I need to write a comment and make sure that I can see comments before I get everything going because my Facebook doesn't work very well at the moment. It's a little bit wonky. My name's Jodi from Decoris Vintage Designs. It's my first time ever going live on this page, so that's kind of cool. Right, I'm going to write a quick comment and hopefully I can start to see your comments come through then. I have to do this every time I go live on Facebook for some reason, otherwise it doesn't show me any. Okay, yes, I think I can see them now. Okay guys, right, I have a confession to make as well. So it's 9 o'clock where I am at the moment, it's quite late. I got out the shower and I was like, right, okay, cool, I still need to go live on the Prima page tonight. So I am having a bit of a pyjama party tonight. I am in my pyjamas. I'm in what I call my painting PJs because I thought, what is the point of getting out the shower to just put on fresh clothes, just to put on PJs anyway. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to be nice and comfortable on my live tonight. So, okay, if somebody could leave a comment just to say hello or whatever, that would be awesome because it means then I know that they're working and I can see them. Unfortunately, I don't have another device with me tonight, so if I can't see them, then I do apologise. You'll just have to, if you've got any questions, you just have to leave it in the comments, and I'll just have to pick them up afterwards. So I don't know if anybody's commenting at the moment, or yeah, I don't know. Okay, I can see people are coming on and watching, but I don't think I can see the comments tonight, guys. I'm really sorry. So I'm just going to get started straight away. I can see people trickling on. And as I say, if you have any questions, just let me know, just write them and I will pick them up afterwards because I can't see them at the moment. And if you could just let other people know that I can't see them, I'm sorry. Right. On another note as well, my tripod's a little bit broken. So I've got this mirror here behind me that you can see. So I'm a little bit squashed here. It looks like I'm really far away, but I'm not. Everything's really close to me. So this mirror here has been painted in mint Gillette. So it's been painted in a really nice mint colour. I'm just making some space for myself. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to show you how to get a really vintage, old world, maybe French kind of look, just with chalk paste and Decor wax. So look, my dog's here and he's now trying to eat my brushes. He's a bit of a nuisance. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer, so just bear with me. So hopefully you guys can see that now. And I'm going to actually get started with the chalk pastes. I'm just going to make sure everything's nice and stable so the phone doesn't go flying. Okay, so the chalk paste that I'm going to start with today is aquamarine. And these are really nice and textured. I won't be using any water. I will just be putting it straight on there, and I'll just get out the way of the frame so you can see the actual full thick piece properly. So I won't be using any water. I'm going to make it nice and textured. So I'm just going to get a dabbing brush. You don't necessarily need to use one of these brushes. You can just use an old chip brush if you like. And I'm going to get the paste on there like that. And I'm literally just going to start tapping this on. So this is a technique called stippling, or as I like to call it, the dabby technique. So I'm just going to tap this on, and it's going to be thicker in some areas and a little bit thinner in others. So as you can see, it's a complementary colour. It's a similar colour to the one that I've got on underneath, but it's just lighter in tone. And I'm going to try and think, put it in places where the sun might have bleached this paint and the frame over time. So kind of in the middle areas is where I'm thinking I'm going to start putting this. So I'm just going to dab this on so as you can see, it's getting lighter towards the edges here. I'm going to put a little bit on the edges though, because these might have gotten worn down. These edges are exposed, so I'm going to put some on the edges as well. Okay, and I'm just dabbing away, and this will create lots of texture, and it will build up texture in some places, as I say, and thin it out in others. So it's going to make the whole piece look very rustic, and it's going to make it look genuinely rustic as well. It's not going to look uneven or anything. So I'm just going to dab this away. I'm always pleasantly surprised actually at how good these chalk pastes smell. They have like a really soft, like floral fragrance to them. I don't know if anyone on Prima's on here today who can tell me what it is, but they smell gorgeous. So I'm just dabbing this away. It's not going to be even, I'm not giving it full coverage. It's just meant to add some texture and character to this piece. So already now we can start to see this build up. We can start to see some interesting things happen. And the brilliant thing about these dabbing brushes is, I believe they're made from natural fibres, or whatever they're made from, they bounce back straight away. So you can dab these and it won't ruin your brush. So this is aquamarine chalk paste that I'm using here as well. Okay, so now I've got some of the aquamarine built up on there. I do want to build up some of the colours. So what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking about how the colour mines have, how the frame mine's been painted, you know, in lots of different colours over time, and how over time these colours have started to wear away. So I can see Shaz has just mentioned me in the comments and I can't see it. Sorry Shaz, hello by the way. So this here is now Provence, and it's kind of like a bit of a teal colour. It's a really, really pretty colour. So I'm using a smaller dabbing brush for this. I'm putting less on the brush, and I am just going to lightly dab in a few areas. So very, very lightly here, and I hope you can see that. Let me see if I can bring you in closer. Okay, so this is Provence, and I'm just gently dabbing it in some areas now. And it's especially good, so what's really, really good about this stippling is that it gets right into the details. And it just creates, as I say, it just creates something a little bit different with the piece and something kind of interesting. And it's very, very good for getting aged vintage looks. So this is going to blend slightly in with the aquamarine as well in some areas. So it's going to be lighter in some areas and darker in others. And I've barely got any on my brush now, and I'm still tapping it, and this is called dry brushing. So when you start to remove paint from your brush, when there's hardly any left, and you start to just transfer it onto a piece of furniture, it's called dry brushing. So I'm just dabbing this in all over now. I'm going to soften up some of these colours a little bit. I don't want thick, bright bits of colour, because obviously then it's not going to look aged. It's going to look like it's just been painted, and that's not the look that I'm going for here. Okay guys, I'm really sorry that I can't see your comments either. I will, if you've got any questions, just, as I say, just pop them in the comments, and I will, once I'm done on here, I will answer any questions after the live. So this is Provence that I'm using, and I'm going to alternate again with some aquamarine. I'm using different brushes for this, and so I'm back to some aquamarine now, and I'm putting some of that over the Provence. And I'm just tapping away, and this is called, as I say, it's called stippling. It creates some beautiful, beautiful texture, but I just want to get into some of these inner parts of the frame here as well. And I love the chalk pastes. They're really, really good for accentuating bits of your furniture, so you can do this on furniture as well. They're really, really good for just for stenciling. You can use them for stenciling, or if you just want a little bit of texture building upon something, they're really, really fantastic for that. They're one of my favourite products to use by Prima, and I think they're really, really underrated. Okay, so then lastly, I have some Roycoft Rose, and this is like a really nice soft dusky pink. I'm actually just going to use, hang on, so I'm going to use another brush, and now I'm going to even less on this now, so I don't have much on this at all, and I'm just going to start tapping this in a few places as well. So I want even less of this in the aquamarine and the Provence, but I'm just going to add it in a few places, because as I say, I want it to look like the colours built up over time. Sorry, the colours worn away over time. Let me know where you guys are as well, and what time it is where you are. So it's 9 o'clock where I am in the evening, and I'm about ready. So I'm about ready just to settle down with a film after I've done this. I'm just going to watch a movie or something, and just relax. I've been up since 4 this morning, so I'm kind of tired. Okay, so can you see now how all this texture, it's just creating this really kind of vintage, worn away look. Right, okay, and it doesn't take long to do, so what you'll notice is that I'm doing this really, really quickly. It doesn't take long at all. And what I'm doing is, so the aquamarine and this Roycoft Rose colour are both complementary colours to Mint Gillette. They're both soft pastel colours. And then I've got my Provence, which is a darker colour. and that's just to add some contrast. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Decor waxes, and at this point I would probably say it's normally better to leave it to dry, but because I'm live I'm just going to get straight to it, especially because I can't see your comments either, so there's nothing for me to answer at the moment. So I've got with me, so I'm going to be alternating between aged brass. It comes in this really cute little tin, these Art Alchemy products, and they just remind me of the makeup that you would get from the 1920s. You know, the makeup tubs and everything, that blusher and things would come in. And I've also got some rich copper, and I'll just show you this colour so you can see. So you can see the both like kind of really nice bright pigmented metallics. And I'm going to get my dabbing brushes again, and I'm just going to do the same thing with my waxes. So I'm going to start with some of the bronze, and I'm just going to gradually build this up. It's always better to gradually build something up and then let it, and then you can add more if you need to. Whereas if you're going with too much, it's harder then obviously to take it away, and you have to start messing around repainting things. So what I'm thinking is this frame once would have belonged to a really rich like country English house. It's probably had some gilding, you know, some gold and things over the rims at some point. So I'm exactly the same with the paint. I'm going to add my Decor wax, and I'm going to make it look like the Decor wax as well. So what would have once been gold or bronze or whatever has worn off over time. So I'm starting now with brass, and I'm just tapping this away. And I hope you can see that on camera. I realise you might not be able to get into the actual details, but if I just bring you in a little bit closer, you can sort of see where we're at with it. And these are so pigmented, and you can see here I'm leaving some little gaps in between, so as I'm dabbing I'm not giving it full coverage. My tripod's broken as well. There we go. So it really suits my new staging wall actually, this kind of style. So I'm going to dab this in some places where there might have once been some, you know, where it once might have looked really expensive. And I'm just doing it gradually, as I say. And it's just going to settle into all these nice little grooves. It's looking a little bit speckled, which means it's been weathered a little bit as well. And it's just going to look really beautiful once I'm done here today. So I'm focusing on all these bits where moulds are. And this is aged, sorry, is it aged brass? I forgot. Yes, aged brass that I'm using at the moment. It's a little bit dry actually, so I'm just going to have to keep dabbing my brush. And it is better to let your chalk paste dry before you go onto this, because it might just blend into the chalk paste a little bit, and then it might not be, sorry guys, it's just a little bit dry on top here. So then it might not be quite as bold as you would want it, or as strong, the pigment in the actual wax. So it is better to let the chalk paste dry, so that you're not actually blending it in with the chalk paste. So I'm just tapping away. It's just going to look a little bit speckled and worn now. And it's going to be built up in some areas more than others. Hopefully you guys can see that it's really starting to pop now. When I'm done tonight, I will do a close-up and post it in the Redesign with Prima group page. In fact, down here there's not much chalk paste at all, so I'm just going to come down here and I'm just going to add a little bit of chalk paste down here. I seem to have just missed this area a little bit. There we go. Oops, I'm being clumsy tonight. That's because I'm ready for bed. Okay. I walk my dogs at like 4 in the morning. Normally I'm a night owl, and I normally stay up all night. And then I walk my dogs about 4 in the morning, and then I go to sleep, which is just really bad. It's just a bad habit I've been in since lockdown started. Whereas last night I actually got to sleep really early, woke up at 4 and then walked my dogs. So I've been up since 4 this morning, and it's now 9 PM where I am, so I am ready for bed. Unless I get distracted and I start painting something, and then I might be up all night again, which always seems to be the case. Sometimes when I get painting something, I don't ever want to just stop. Like, I always just want to keep going until I've finished it, and I almost kind of go into a bit of a trance. So that's sometimes why I'm up so late as well. Okay. So this is aged brass, and I'm just speckling it by dabbing it in some areas now. And then what I'm thinking is I'm going to add some of this copper, some of this rich copper. And now I'm thinking, so if you think about when something's been weathered and when rain's been on something, and you know, you get that kind of copper look. So I'm wanting this to look like it's been weathered, and it's kind of, I know it sounds awful, you like, almost kind of like when something gets a bit damp and you get that coppery look, you know, that rustic patina. That's kind of what I'm going for here. So I'm just going to get an even smaller dabbing brush now, and I'm going to be very, very careful how much I use this. And it's going to accentuate the aged brass a little bit as well in some areas, but I'm not going to use too much. And as I say, I'm going to build it up very, very gradually. So this is a patina that we're creating now actually. This is called a patina. When something wears away, yeah, is that right? Wears away, and you know, creates this kind of worn look, and you have different bits of colour peeking through. Like, so if you imagine something's been kind of layered over, you know, had layers of colours over time, and it's been weathered, and that weather reacts with, you know, the paint and the piece and the metal and the, you know, and the golds and things. That's what a patina is, and that's what we're creating here. So I'm focusing this a lot on the edges because these are what would be the most exposed and what would be most likely to kind of rust. I've just put on a little bit too much there, so I'm just going to grab my original dabbing brush, and I seem to be molting tonight as well, my hair's getting everywhere, and I'm just going to dab this in, and what this will do is it will just soften it. So if you use a little bit too much, just go back to one of your original brushes and just dab. And that will just soften. And I'm so sorry guys that I can't see your comments. As I say, I will answer them once I have finished on here. Such a pain. I don't know why Facebook's doing this to me. I know a lot of people are having issues with Facebook at the moment, but normally if I write a comment, it would not. In fact, let me just say hello one more time and let me see if it does anything. I'm just going to put a few dots because nope. Sometimes if I comment, it brings them all up, and tonight it's not playing ball for some reason. So, damn Facebook. Okay, so aged copper that I'm using now, and now this is looking really, really old and rustic, and it's just got this really nice, pretty French kind of style to it. Okay. So I'm not going to overdo it. I do want some of the original colour poking through there and some of the original chalk pastes. So I'm going to go over again with my aquamarine chalk paste. So this is this colour, and it's like a really, really light green, minty turquoise. And I'm just going to gently go over with this aquamarine chalk paste again, and just make some of the wax look a little bit sun bleached. And what I will be doing is I'm going to put some white wax on this, and the white wax will age it as well, even more so, because it will soften everything up and all the white wax will sit in the grooves and it will just add to all the texture. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to try putting on some white wax now. However, it's not dry, so I don't really know how this is going to go. Hang on, I'm just trying to, where is it? I can't find it. I just had it a moment ago. Sorry guys, one sec. I have lost the white wax. Okay, oh no, I've got it. So this is a really, really nice creamy white wax that I'm using, and I'm just going to grab my, so I always use these brushes for my waxing, for my main waxing. I absolutely love these brushes. And I've just got a feeling it might smudge some of the Decor wax. I'm just wondering whether I should dry it first. I'm just going to blast my hairdryer on it just for a moment, so just bear with me. Oh cool, I can see comments, yay! Okay, I can see Llewellyn commenting, Roz, I have myself muted. Can you hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, they're the only comments I can see. It's okay, you can always come back and answer it. It's happened to me before. Guys, okay, can someone just let me know if they can hear me? Otherwise I've just been talking and I'm painting and nobody's understood a word that I said. Right, okay. So I've got some white wax here now and I'm just going to put a tiny bit on my brush and I'm just going to start blending some of this in. It's not completely dry. It should be completely dry when you do this. I'm just going to pat this in a little bit. I haven't done this very elegantly at all. Oh, we can hear. Oh, brilliant. Okay, I panicked then for a second. I thought, oh God, I've been like talking for ages and nobody's heard a word that I've said. And now I'm going to get some brown wax. And so the brown wax is going to really age this piece now. So I'm just going to darken some of the edges up with it. And what this will do is it will make it look like it has been really, really exposed. And I'm thinking about places again where it might have sort of been exposed to the weather and people's hands and things. I've just put a little bit too much on there. I'm just going to blend that in. And this is kind of how I always work. I just add and take away colour as I see fit. I don't really have a plan as such. I just sort of add colours and then take them away until I'm kind of pleased with the outcome. So I'm going to come again in with a bit of aquamarine again here. Some of the chalk paste again. And I'm going to get some of the aged brass again. I feel like this has covered up too much of the aged brass and I want some of it to start shining through again. I think I prefer it without the dark wax actually. I do think I prefer it without it. Let me just put some in again with a bit of chalk paste. Okay, so I think I'm going to put a tiny little bit of the dark wax down here. Just a tiny bit, not a lot. In fact, I'm going to stipple this on as well. And I don't really want to do much more with this now, I think, because it's not completely dry and I'm just going to end up ruining it. Okay, I'm just going to come back in again with a little bit of the copper. Just add a bit more copper onto this. I've covered a little bit of it too much up. And my aged brass again. I've lost it. I am so not with it tonight. Where have I put it? Oh, here it is. It's right in front of me. And I'm just going to speckle this on a little bit. There we go. Actually, that looks amazing. So this looks really, really good over the top of the brown wax. Put a little bit more brown wax down here. I really like the way that looks. I'm going to come in again with some aged brass. Cool, and there you have it. So if I bring you up close now, you'll be able to see all of this texture, hopefully. So you can see here we've got lots of different colours going on. We've got like a little bit of a rusty patina thing going on there. Lots of different colours poking through. Some of the dark wax here, and I've put the brass over it, and a little bit of chalk paste. So you can see now that we've got this really kind of worn look going on, but it's still really, really pretty. If I turn it around, I haven't worn this side quite as much, so it will look a little bit different. In fact, just while you're close up there, I can just see, I want to just dab a little bit more on here, if you guys can see that. That's looking a little bit too, like, I don't really like this thick hedge here. Just want to blend that in a little bit. Okay. It looks amazing. Thank you, Shaz. It looks so good. I want to try it. Thank you, Llewellyn. Right, guys. Okay, so sorry I've not been able to see your comments for most of it. Does anybody else have soft boxes and then just get really, really warm when they're on you? I feel like I'm in the middle of like a hot summer's day or something at the moment. Okay, so if you, yeah, so I will have a read through your comments in a mo once I've just jumped off here and just see any that I've missed, because I've not been able to see many of them. But yeah, it's as simple as that. The chalk pastes are really, really good for building texture, and then these metallic waxes, so these here, are just really good for, they're extremely pigmented and just really brilliant gilding waxes if you want some metallics on there as well. So have a wonderful evening, guys. As I say, drop me a comment if you've got any questions, I will answer them, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.